We look at stuff that's happening, but it makes us feel uncomfortable, but we don't want to say anything because we don't want to be disruptive. We somehow, perhaps maybe in the back of our mind, think that there is a positive to, for example, Boris Johnson sharing a message around Guru Nanak Sahib's Gurpurb, or like Modi, wearing a dastar and, being part of that Gurpurb celebration. So like there is like some kind of hope within us that this is positive in a way. Like we might not know is exactly how it's positive, but when we experience that moment that we're uncomfortable, we don't know what's happening, we don't know why we're uncomfortable, we don't want to say anything, we feel like we shouldn't say anything. For me, that moment is key, and like this event is about that moment. Why are we uncomfortable? What does that uncomfortability mean? How can we challenge that moment of like silencing? Like what is being silenced and what is our kind of role? How can we disrupt that silencing that's taking place?
She was like a Hindu MP, I think. She like came through and she was just like, it like proper aggressively said this. She like pointed to the banner, she was like, it says Khalsa on there, you don't agree with Khalistan, do you? And all the organisers were like, no, not at all, like Khalistan, like Guru Nanak doesn't want Khalistan, like that's not what we agree with. We agree with Guru Nanak's teachings of like unity and peace, and and then at that point I just had to like kind of walk away because it was like, these people don't want to hear me. I don't, like, there's nothing I can do here. This space isn't for me. And as a Sikh, I didn't feel comfortable at a Vaisakhi event. So then for me, that begs the question, who was this event even created for? Guru has to be respected when we're in Guru spaces. When we're in these other nonsense mainstream state spaces, it's their space, it's not our space, so they're the ones that are going to get respected, these MPs. It's just not having it in our own space, and it's not on our own terms, it's on their terms. And we don't have a say because we're silenced whenever we have an issue with it.
Whereas we're not educating, sometimes we're not challenging the committees when they are in the wrong, and sometimes, you get tarnished if you do go too far by challenging them all the time. So, there has to be the right balance. But the positives, one of the most positive things I saw over Gurpurb, and it was only like 2-3 days ago, and it went viral on social media, and it was when Maharaj was took to Tihar jail, and Jathedar Hawara alongside Hardeep Singh Shera from KLF, they were together standing there enjoying Gurpurb celebrations in jail. And you couldn't get a better image because that's where Singhs are still in Chardi Kala, and they're showing that. They showed the unity, they showed the positivity, they showed how Singh should be in Chardi Kala, and that was probably the best thing I saw over these 550 Gurpurb.
I see this as an opportunity for the government to place their mark on Sikhi. So, they can use their narratives, they portray whatever they want, and they change Guruji's philosophies into anything that will benefit them and anything that will be beneficial for them in portraying their narrative. We were talking about the MPs. I believe there was only one MP that actually said it, and that's Eddie Hughes from Willenhall, and his constituency is full of Sikhs as well. And he's the only one who proactively puts out the Juggy picture and supports the Juggy campaign, so fair play to him. So those were two sort of prominent things I've seen, but obviously the Dahar jail was the one that really hit home, and I think a lot of people it hit home. You saw people from different jathas sharing it, different orgs sharing it. It was one of the best images that went viral on social media, better than any of them MPs with the Stara or whatever. Honestly, it was the sickest. So if you need to know more about those Singhs and why they're in jail, do your research, go online, look at the websites, Never Forget 84, 1984 Tribute. It's important that we do our research on who these people are, why they've been put in prison and why they're there and what were they fighting up and what. They're standing on the same message Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj did 550 years ago. He was the first one who stood for Khalistan. And we need to remember that this is the same message that he was being put in, Maharaj was put in Babar's jails then, and these things and these activists are put in prisons to this day. Why? Because they stood for the truth. And this is what activism is. If you get targeted for that, it's part of the parcel. We always have to stay Jarid Kala just like those things are in that image.